Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. If you don't know me, my name is Braylon and this is That Special Educator. I have not vlogged in like 2 years, which is kind of crazy. But clearly I already have my makeup done, so I'm filming this afterwards and I apologize. I just want to give like a little heads up, which is I'm going to talk about like my job and job changing, teaching, fun, like education stuff at the beginning. I'm really excited to like update you all on all the things that are changing and how excited I am to be going back to a job that I like love so much. So yeah, so stay tuned and love you all. Okay, to recap, I was a teacher for 5 years in special ed, in self-contained, and then I switched to working like in administration. I am overseeing a program of a bunch of like self-contained classrooms. I support the teachers, I meet with the parents, I help with the IEPs, I work with like curriculum, whether it's like gen ed curriculum, kind of like to help us bridge the gap. All of it. I have like an amazing team and I feel like it's been such an honor to oversee them. And I think I would stay in this role forever if there were some things that were different. I think the hours are really long because you have to work kind of different hours than the teachers, and you do have to come in a bit more in the summers. You just like there's a lot of things I couldn't plan vacations with my family and stuff like that. So I kind of have been struggling for the past year or so. Like I don't want to get into too deep of it, just for like privacy reasons, but like I've just struggled. I've struggled with the role. I've struggled with feeling like it's the role for me. I've struggled with like feeling like I'm really making a difference and just so many layers. So I don't know. I love it in theory, but then in like real life, I've just not had a great time actually being in administration. And it's strange because I was actually the other day on Instagram, like teacher Instagram, and there was like 2 more teachers that posted about how they're switching to either, administration or some kind of like director or curriculum person. And I'm so happy for them because for some people that is like perfect for their life. But I just think like right now it's not perfect for my life. And so I'm switching back to teaching. So sorry, woohoo! I'm switching back to teaching self-contained, and I actually have a few more reasons for that I like kind of want to get into. But I missed it. And so, it kind of all started where like after the first few months, like in 2022 of me being, in like some sort of like admin role, I pretty quickly was like, oh crap, like I don't love this as much as I thought I was going to love it. Which is kind of a bummer. And like people tend to move into admin either like to make a difference or to have like, a different like change of pace. You're not in the classroom all the time. You're not like working directly with kids. There is like some nice elements of like being in an office, which I have really enjoyed, but it's really stressful. It's really stressful to have to communicate with families. It's really stressful to have to communicate with staff, good staff. I'm saying that in like the most loving way. Like no one is bad. It's just stressful to have to like, work through those things. And I think when you lead something, like all of the challenges and stuff, like you really have to solve the issue. And I think that I was like, whoa, okay, there's so much weight to this, and I really want to make sure that our kids are being serviced the best way possible. I want to make sure my employees are getting all of the benefits. And I think like I have been like advocating so hard for things and for my employees that I think my employees are amazing, and I think we have such an incredible relationship, like working relationship, but it was almost to like the detriment of my own mental health, which is interesting because like you'd think that in admin or like in a role where you're not directly in the classroom, like that would improve your mental health, but like it actually has been the opposite for me. And I've really struggled, and I'll get into my personal life with my boyfriend and stuff, but I just think like every day I would talk to him and he'd be like, I don't know, Bray, like this just might not be the job for you. And so it just kind of became like more and more clear that I just wasn't enjoying it. Sorry, I'm trying to find the right brush. That I wasn't really enjoying it as much as I thought I would. And then I went through like all the stages of grief, because like when you work so hard like to get a license and to just step outside the classroom, although this opportunity kind of just presented itself to me, like I wasn't really looking for it, and like also feeling guilty, like I think I've done a pretty good job, like I think my team is really thriving and successful, like I wanted to find a way for it to work. But then, as things went on, I'm like, I only get like 3 weeks of vacation a year, including like the holidays and stuff. And, as classrooms need to be built and like more opened up for like numbers and increased numbers and things like that. Like, I just was like, oh my gosh, like I actually think, for my own mental health, I need to step away from this role and step back into a role that I know that I've really loved. And I think it kind of stems from like, I didn't leave teaching because I didn't like it or that it wasn't sustainable for me. I left it because this opportunity presented itself, and I kind of thought it would be, a way to like support students like more. And so I feel like I still left teaching and like with such like positive memories, if that makes sense, and like positive light. Like I'm trying to be like kind and respectful in my tone, but I don't know if I'm getting my point across. But anyway, now I'll fast forward. I'm really excited to go back to the classroom. I'm so pumped. So I've been at the same like school or like group of schools in the same area for 4 years. And I'm staying with that same group because I've loved them so far. Like I really love the people I work with and my coworkers and all that stuff. So I'm staying in the same program that I've been building up, which we can talk about another day. But I'm really excited about it. And I'm just pumped for all the things that I feel like I've learned in my few years in like leadership. And I feel like that's going to like translate really well to like working on IEPs and like adjusting how I want to teach things in my classroom. And so I'm like really excited about that. I don't know. I just feel like it's such a cool opportunity to step back into the classroom and like support kids in a way that I don't think I had that knowledge before. Like not to down, like I think my classrooms before were great, but there's so many new things I want to like add and like just make even more like robust. So that is like what's really exciting to me. So next year I'm going to teach like an elementary class, a self-contained classroom, or in Massachusetts it's called substantially separate. Probably between like the typical that I used to have, like between 7 and 12 kids, depending on the enrollment, and then a few like extra staff members. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited for like all the pieces. I'm excited for decorating my classroom. I'm excited for being with kids all day. I don't know. I'm just really thrilled. And my schedule will go back to like a normal like teacher type of schedule. I'll get my summers again. I'm excited to just be in charge of like a classroom rather than like many classrooms. I definitely think there'll still be areas that I would love to like keep supporting people in like small areas, but I'm excited for like less. And I know that sounds like, I don't want it to come across like I'm complaining, because I've actually loved my past 2 years. Like I've been saying, like I've learned so much. I just am excited for like a slower pace, and a change of scenery. I already saw what classroom I'm probably going to have next year, because they're like rearranging the school building, and it's a beautiful room in like a corner of like a higher level floor with like huge windows, like windows on two walls basically. And it's not like square footage wise that big of a room, but I just think it's going to be such a good fit. I decided on switching back to the classroom actually in like November of this school year, so like November 2023, which I'm kind of glad I like talked to my bosses really early because it allowed us to start, posting for my position, and we found a really great candidate from a different district. So I'm really excited for that. I just think like starting the process early, finding my replacement early has just made it feel more real and like less stressful for my team to like, because essentially you're like transitioning leadership. So that's been like such a huge win. And yeah, I'm just really excited for all of it. And so I cannot wait. So there will be a lot more stuff coming from me. Like this summer, I'm gonna really dive into decorating my classroom, but I'm decorating it like frugally because like if I've learned anything of the past like 7 years now of my career, it's that like you really don't need to spend like that much money on your class. And plus I have like furniture and things that I saved in like storage. So I'm excited to do it and just excited to like decorate it minimally and like frugally and like get back into like creating things. And I don't think I'll like want to create like curriculum type things or like dig into that. Again, the theme of this is like to simplify my life and just kind of have a slower pace. But I am really excited to like I was saying, to decorate and like get deeper into it. I will be vlogging, so I've just missed vlogging so much, and it's such a different experience when you're vlogging like when you're an admin, because like you don't have a class. I'm like, I don't ever want to vlog in like someone else's classroom, and like this year I share an office, so like I don't want to vlog like in a shared office. It's just awkward and different. So I'm excited to vlog. I'm excited to show you all like all my things. I think what I've decided is that like I'm gonna keep TikTok as kind of like a neutral vlogging place. So like might be some teaching things and it might be like more personal things because it's easier like on the go. Whereas I think like I do want to bring back like YouTube weekly vlogs, whether they get views or not. It's less about that and more like it's helpful for me, because in the past like couple months I've gone back and like not watched my vlogs because that's awkward, but like tried to find like, oh, what did I create that one time? And I like try to fast forward to find like the thing I created, and I just like it as like a like almost like a diary of like things that I've done, especially like for my classroom and stuff. So like I was saying, I'm excited to decorate it, excited to start building things and curriculum. And I recently like went to Target the other day and found things on sale, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna save this and I put it in my basement. So I'm pumped for all of it. I'm pumped for all of it. I can't. That was a lot of blush. Sorry. I literally just like cannot wait. So more to come with that. So I want to switch over to personal. So if you're not interested in like my personal life, like peace out. Thank you for being here for this part of the announcement. I'm so excited. But I do want to talk a little bit about my personal life because I think this is also a big like catalyst for some change. So I guess I'll get kind of deep with you all because I feel like you've been with me for the past 5 years, which is crazy. So between 2017 and 2020, I was teaching and living in Rhode Island. And that's when I started my vlog channel. And at the time I was still like in a pretty high demand religion, like loosely. I wasn't really practicing, but my name was still kind of attached to it, and like it was the religion my family was a part of, like the church, whatever. When the pandemic hit, it finally like gave me the confidence to leave, and that is a story for another day, but that's like one of the greatest decisions I've ever made, is like leaving my high demand religion. And then after that, I entered into like a pretty short relationship that was in 2022 into 2023. It really wasn't that serious. The guy was kind of a jerk. Like, I don't want to get into it, but just was kind of gross and definitely not the kind of guy I would want to date. And so that ended, and then I met my current boyfriend And we've been together for 1 year, and it's such a different experience from like being in a religion where you're only dating guys that are like religious to like now, and then being in a previous relationship where the guy was just like not treating you well and never cared about you, nothing, to like being in like a serious relationship that is so caring and like with a really patient person. And so I'm so grateful. And like I feel like when I met my boyfriend Brian, like it was like I talked to him and I just kind of like knew like, oh, this is my person. Like, this is the person that I feel like really comfortable with. And I hadn't had that in any of my past relationships, specifically the most recent one before him. And it's just like a strange thing. You're like, I had just turned like 29. I just felt like my life was like, okay, my career's set, but like my love life is not set. And so meeting Brian was like, I don't know, like the greatest thing that happened to me. Without getting too like sappy and cheesy, but things have started to change. Like I turned 30, we had our like 1 year anniversary, and I think it just like things were starting to make sense. Like, oh my gosh, do we want to be in like 2 separate apartments? Like, how much are we paying for those? And like, do we want to like try to live together and all this stuff? And so basically like through this whole year, my year's been super stressful. This year has been so stressful. So it's like, like I'm feeling stressed. And then add on to that like I am in a wonderful relationship and I want to live with that person. And I do want to like have a slower pace and be more available for like my friends, my boyfriend, my family. And just being in admin didn't allow me like the work-life balance that I felt like I had when I was a teacher. And I know that's crazy because that sounds so opposite to like how people are painting the job of a teacher like online nowadays. And I think like maybe it's because I taught for a few years, so I like care less about the aesthetics of education, or I care less about like grading every paper and like doing that kind of thing. But I truly had such a great work-life balance when I was a teacher. Okay, so being in my current relationship, I think like I actually like don't always have like the time. Like I'm in meetings and late, and kids are running late, and I end up staying till like 5 or 5. Like I just feel like I've not had the ability to like eat the foods I want to eat and like spend quality time with Brian and so many things. And so when I decided to make the switch for my job, it was, necessary. But then as Brian and I started talking, we were like, okay, let's live together and let's do this. And I think that's only added to my excitement about my position change, because it means like I'll be available. I'll just be a classroom teacher. Like, thank goodness. That's like all I've wanted to be my whole life. Let's get back to that. And then I'll actually get to leave work before, 5 o'clock and like get to, hang out with the people that I love and like dig into that. And so I'm just really excited. I feel like all this video is me talking about how excited I am, but truly, like, I know I haven't vlogged for the past 2 years, but I've been so happy. Like, not just my beautiful relationship, which does make me feel really happy, but like learning more about special ed is like my favorite topic. I've been able to live in the city in this specific apartment for like 3 full years, and I love this apartment. I love living in the city. I love all the things I get to do. Like, I've had like the best 2 years, and that's why it was such a guilty, strange, hard feeling for me to want to leave my position, because I've felt like it's given me a lot of joy. So I did all that I could do, and I decided to switch, and then Brian and I decided to live together, and then we started like looking for apartments. And I live in Boston, and Boston is just like a really, really expensive city. And so it just was astronomical how much everything was costing. I live in this beautiful apartment with my two of my best friends, so that's why it's so affordable. But 2 people in a 1 bedroom. 1 bedrooms are the ones that everybody wants, and it's just been insane. Like in Boston, a 1 bedroom apartment, like minimum, is like $2,800 a month, and like that's just crazy. And like the goals I have in my life, I want, I would like to like eventually have a family and have a house or whatever. And so as Brian and I have been talking more, I'm like, I just don't think like paying, so much money per month, like is what we want to do. Like I'm going back to being a teacher. Like, come on. So we are moving into a really small apartment. Ooh, the rent is like a really, really good price. So we're moving in July. So not only do I have to, get all my stuff out of storage, start my classroom up, vlog, I'm also going to be moving. So I, again, will probably be putting more of my personal stuff on like TikTok and Instagram, but I'm pumped. Like, and I'm also, like I said, I've been in this apartment for 3 years. I love it so much. But it's just like time for a change. But yeah, I'm really excited. So we will be like, overhauling our stuff, putting different things in storage, like probably buying a couple pieces of furniture, but just deciding like what we can realistically fit into this small apartment. But I'm kind of okay with it. Like I'm so excited to like, I don't know, like live below our means, like for me to work in a job that I love, like just simplify our schedule. Like I'm not being like, oh, I'm excited to like wake up every morning and see Brian's face. Like that's great, but I'm actually more excited to just do mundane things and live like regular life with him. So I'm really excited. So yeah, doing a classroom, and moving apartments is not my favorite thing to do in one summer, and change jobs. But you're not hardcore unless you live hardcore. So we're doing it, and then it will feel good when it's all said and done. I do have like a couple final admin things that I have to do in August, which is fine. So I do feel like I'm going to do most of my like prepping and organizing, moving, classroom, like all of that in July, because I need August for more of those meetings to finally transfer the last of like my job duties, and that I know is going to take like a lot of energy. So I'm excited. So I'll probably be posting a little bit more on the channel as it leads up to the summer, because I want to like set some things up, like start planning my curriculum stuff, like all the planning things I would normally do for a school year. I want to start for myself. And then I'm going to go on a few like family vacations in June and July. Brian and I are going on a vacation in July. And then once it's August, I'm really pumped, because then I'll just be able to post like regular teaching content, and like, oh, I just like cannot wait. And it might be mundane, boring, whatever. I don't care, because it's just been such a thrill to even think that I could vlog again. So, okay. So I've been rambling. Hopefully it made sense. Hopefully you can tell that I'm excited. Again, like I love my job. If you're watching and you work with me currently, like love you. I'm just really excited for like a change. So I'm going to finish my latte, and then I really do have to go. Like time crunch. So thank you all so much. I love you. And I will see you soon on the channel. Bye.